Hi guys. Have you noticed on our journey how some people are just gifted from birth? It's as if they were born with talents. Their journey of life seems so much easier. From another perspective, it may not be so. This concept is not meant to make one child stand out as better than the other, nor is it to be used as a tool or to box someone into a reason as to why a child may not be functional. This is in no way anything to do with loving a child. I'm sure that many love all of their children equally, as the concept has nothing to do with the outward expression of love to a child. Both lust and love children have an equally difficult path through life. The main difference is the love child's role is one of responsibilities and stability, whereas the lust child is struggle and freedom. The idea of a love child would be a child that has been inspired through a spark creation. Often it would be the eldest, but not always. The reason it would be the eldest child is simply that it could be assumed that your parents were still in love at the time of conception. The burning desire to have a child may be a part of this, as once you've had one, that burning desire, it's a spark, may be gone, or at least lessened. If the couple were not in love and had a couple of children, then split up, only then did they meet and have a child to someone they loved. This would be an example where it would be a younger child that might be the love child. All of the children in your family could be love children. It would be up to you to ascertain this. I myself would not consider myself to be a love child. However, I would consider the idea that my elder sister is. My elder sister was different. She was clever, attractive, charming, and seemed to know things beyond her years. Even as a child she shone. She was lovely. What was there not to like? Plus she played her role successfully, and I'm proud to call her my sister. Whereas I would describe my next sister and myself as living in a world where we were tortured souls. We were living in the same household, having a shared experience, but my elder sister seemed to have a completely different experience in childhood than we. The other two did. My other sister played the role of mother for me, and I'm too grateful for this. When I look out in the world elsewhere, I see this. It is almost like love children shine, whilst others have to struggle to get to the point where they do. Love children are often very gifted. They may have special talents, almost as if they were born with an inbuilt essence of the divine already awakened within themselves, whilst the rest of us have to learn to be awakened. The love child part have great responsibility to humankind. They are born with gifts to share among their peers. If they negate this responsibility, then they will likely be harshly warned, bringing to their awareness that their focus is too self-centered. They need to change their ways rapidly and start using their gifts to inspire others, to create the purpose of others knowing the steps towards their energy focus above the waist. When I say warned, I would say 3 strikes and they're out. I can remember a time when my sister had 3 near-death misses in 1 week. A plane crash, surviving sub-zero temperatures overnight with ill-equipped gear to deal with it. Then her bed caught on fire whilst recovering. It all happened in 1 week, but I can remember when she returned, her saying it was as if the world had a different hue about it. If they failed to change their ways, they would likely die, to be immortalized forever in memories, and therefore still have the role of inspiring. Something weird about this, but it seems to happen around about the age of 27. I think I actually read this, that this is an age where a great many famous people die. Part of the responsibility of the love child is for them to be the leaders, the torch bearers, so to speak. This is most like why nature has mainly made them the oldest from the onset, so they can learn leadership skills early in life. As for the rest of us, lust children, we all have the opportunities through expressions of love. But I get the feeling that our experiences are more struggle-based rather than having to shoulder the responsibilities along the way while we forge our way through life. Regardless of where you were born on this scale, neither side is easy. I can remember having a conversation with my sister many years ago about how it was just not fair, that she was born with gifts that I simply did not have. It seemed to me that every turn she was treated with respect, she was given help. It seemed to me that it was always easy for her. What was strange was her response to this was something that I simply didn't expect. But she inspired me within this conversation, pointing out that I was courageous. that things did not frighten me the way that they frightened her, that she had to work very hard at maintaining her appearance, behaviour, and that she felt she had to be responsible all the time. And the idea of going to a country where she couldn't plug in her hairdryer scared her. That actually wasn't the conversation, but I was just trying to make light of it. What she did actually say was, if somebody handed me a plane ticket to India, I would be off, regardless of not booking hotels. I'd simply arrive there, fly by the seat of my pants, meeting all challenges along the way. It simply wouldn't face me at all. I viewed it as an adventure, whereas she was trapped in a world where people had expectations of her. She was forced to be responsible, as many others were dependent on her. She simply couldn't let them down. That was her cross to bear. Whilst mine, on the other hand, would be arriving in India, having nowhere to sleep, end up sleeping under a tree, only to be attacked by a rogue lion, then having to fight my way through, not losing body parts as I go. It's a joke. So let me return to my love child speculation. There is an opportunity for us to change our focus. If we are born beneath the waist, it's embedded in all of us. We have the choice to ignore the soul, because we have free will. So I can speculate from within this that the positive spins in one direction, the direction of the 9, and the negative spins in the direction of the 6. As I already stated in an earlier chapter, our consciousness spins like a fan. It oscillates. The speed of the oscillation is dependent upon our vibration. Love child would be in the direction of a 9. Lust child would be in the direction of a 6. This is not a good-bad thing. It's about push, pull to grow. It works like a symphony. There's no dark without light and no light without dark. During my near-death experience, there was a section where my consciousness disappeared down a rabbit hole. Like Alice in Wonderland, it was spinning. I was spiraling down the pipe, popped out the other side, and the world had changed. It was strange. It had more colour than before. Maybe I popped out as a 9. Maybe I changed my direction, so to speak. I was talking to a friend about this concept today, and she said she'd been watching a TV program last night about men who had many children. She said one of the men had 40 children, and one of the children had referred to himself as a lust child. He refused to have anything to do with his father because of this. It creates a very interesting concept, as I only conceived this concept today, and I'd never heard of it. I have heard of the term love child, but never referred to in the context that I've described. Briefly, I will just classify both. Love child, all talented, beautiful, exuding light. One above the waist, great responsibility. Their responsibility is their cross to bear. 29% of society. It's their responsibility to inspire and take care of lust children and many others that come into their path. Lust children, born into struggle. It's their responsibility to forge through obstacles, being brave as they go, express themselves. These individuals have far more freedom of choice than the love children do. This idea resonates with me. It explains a great deal that before I really did not understand. I figure, with what we have to navigate currently, that anything that can assist us to understand another's perspective helps. It may explain so much for us, this idea. So for now, I will leave it at that.